Oh my goodness. Is it Thursday again? I think it's Thursday. Welcome back to our fourth episode of Are You Dateable? So every Thursday, we're here at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time answering dating questions. So if you're single or in a relationship and you need some advice, you go ahead and click on the link in the chat box, and I welcome you to come on and show your face, ask me some questions, let me know how your love life is going. Okay, I want to know. I definitely want to know. And if you are new to the channel, I don't know where you've been, but I'm Lamont White, the gay dating coach. Yes, I work with the gays, mostly the gays. So I like working with gay men because a lot of heterosexuals, they have dating coaches, therapists that are catering to them, but there's like not a bunch who are like cater to us, who like know the nuances of how to love, argue, and live a long life with another guy, right? And it's also for the lesbians, the bisexual people, if you're transgender, if you're anywhere in the LGBTQ plus, community, that you are welcome to join any race, any age, everybody's welcome here, okay? But make sure you all like this video, comment, and share. Share this video with somebody who you think really needs some dating advice, okay? I see Eric. I see Jerome. Hello, Michael, Ronellis, Malcolm. Hello. How y'all doing tonight in the comment section? I see you. Well, this is the chat box. I can't call it the comment section. It's the chat box. Oh, I hope everybody's having a great evening. Let me know in the chat box, how your night is going. Okay. Well, it's starting to get dark here in Atlanta, but you all might still have sunshine somewhere. Okay. So listen, you can post your questions in the chat box, or you can click on the link in the chat box if you want to come on live with me anytime. Okay. I'm only going to be here for an hour. Okay. So, get your dating questions in while we have time. All right. Also, so I wanted to talk about this because people are like, "Hey, Lamont, how are they dateable?" And I think there are a number of qualities a person has to have to be dateable, right? Not a long laundry list, maybe like a few, but I wanted to share one of the qualities that I think you need to be dateable tonight. I want to get your feedback, your input, your experiences with this quality, and you all let me know what you think of this, okay? So, and you may, I always talk about stuff I think y'all don't like, but we'll see. It is really, 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 really talking about like, how do you handle conflict? When you're dating somebody, how do you handle conflict? One of the number one reasons why most couples don't stay married or don't stay in a long-term relationship, and that is because they do not know how to handle conflict. Okay, they don't know how to handle conflict. When you're dating someone, like getting to know them, there's like all these butterflies. Oh, you're in love. He's so cute. He smells nice. He's sexy. All this stuff, right? But along your dating journey, he's going to do something to piss you off. You're going to do something to piss him off. Somebody's going to say something offensive. There's going to be this awkward moment where like something happens, or he's going to do something that you just don't care for. People who have not mastered how to handle conflict, they will ghost you, right? That's the number one reason why people ghost other people, because they don't know how to handle, hey, I'm just not interested in you anymore. Or, hey, you pissed me off, so I'm done talking to you, right? So if you don't master how to handle conflict, you will find that you will end relationships. I mean, like end relationships by like either cussing the person out, getting into physical fights, because some of y'all do that. You know who you are, or just totally going ghost in a relationship or in a dating experience. Conflict is something that I think is a little bit harder in gay relationships, which is different from, heterosexual relationships, because there are two men that are involved in this relationship. Two, especially if you got two alpha men, all right, who have strong personalities, who have opinions. It just becomes hard. And I think some people make the mistake, some guys make the mistake of thinking that one, that their way is right all the time, or they kind of mirror after heterosexual relationships that are very traditional, where the man, gets to make the decisions and the woman needs to be submissive and meek. And so sometimes guys don't handle conflict. They just let the other person run the show. They do what they want. I see Drew in the comment section says the gays are so quick to move on to the next. I just think I think that can be true, because we haven't. Some of us just haven't mastered how to handle uncomfortable conversations. I would love to know, Drew, like in a relationship, how you show up. Jaron says, I have to talk it out. I can't let things fester. That was an issue with my ex because he avoided conflict. Right. I think we have to normalize. Like, when I say normalize, we have to normalize having disagreements. It is, I say, it's the trick of the devil. If you think you are never going to argue or have a misunderstanding with your husband, your long-term mate, it's not if it'll happen, it's when it's going to happen. And it's okay. It's healthy to have arguments and disagreements, because you're two different people. Two different people. The problem becomes is, how do you argue? I want to know what y'all in the chat box. How do you all argue? If someone is dating you, when they have pushed your button, they have pissed you off. That's what my mama says. They have pissed you off. How do you react? I want to know. How do you handle conflict in a relationship? I want someone to share with me, how do you handle conflict in a relationship? Make sure you all like, comment, and share this video. GQ guy says, I have a, let me see, where is it? There he goes up. He said, I have an uncomfortable conversation if I did something, but if something bothers me, I hold on to it. That's the problem. You holding on to something is like carrying a brick with you and still going throughout the day. I mean, like, put a brick in your book bag and then I want you to go for a walk, go grocery shopping. That's too much weight to be carrying around. If you have an issue with your partner, your mate, it is okay if you need time to process it. Like, people, I tell people all the time, when my husband pisses me off, we're going to have to beep this video out. I keep saying, when it gets on my nerves, I literally be like, you know what? Let me go walk the dog. Because I need a moment sometimes to process it. Because if I react in the moment, I know I'm going to say something that is inappropriate or that is just not going to help the situation. Like, it's going to make things worse. So instead, I need a minute or two. I literally need a minute, and I'm the gay dating coach. I got to go outside, walk the dog, probably call one of my friends, literally, and say, you can't believe what he did, right? Vent, and then I can come back and have the conversation, right? Bearded Ham says, I argue in a civil manner. If we can't have discourse respectfully, then we cannot work at all. Some people can have civil conversations. I am not going to tell you I've always had a civil argument with my husband, right? There have been times where it has been like, and if you all can't tell, I'm a yeller. Who'd have thought it? Like, it is not always civil. But I do, so there are some, I would say, non-negotiables when you are arguing. Like things that you should avoid doing when you're arguing. And one of them, of course, is nothing physical. If you feel like the need to put your hands on someone, that is not a good way. That's an unhealthy manner in arguing, of course. So that's number one. Two, I think name calling. Like name calling. And y'all know what names come up when you're mad, right? I think name calling is definitely a we say there's a foul on the play on the field. Wait. There's a flag on the field. I don't watch football, but like you calling each other names, that's not good. No, no name calling. Okay. Also, while if you're arguing, if the person is intentionally trying to hurt you, like to belittle you, to say things that are not about the argument or the disagreement, now they have taken it to a place where they want to harm you emotionally, right? That is like a sign that this person can't communicate, one, well, but also it may make you want to question their real commitment and their love and caringness for you, the real commitment and their ability to love you, right? So if there's physical, something physical is involved, they're calling names, or they're really trying to hurt you mentally. I want to know what you all think. Somebody says my ex was insecure in that way. Ooh. Yes, flag on the play. Jerome. Oh. Someone says that cuts deep. It makes you think he's holding on. He's holding on it for the right moment. Right. Like it's like I play spades, right? I play, So if someone has done something to offend you, your partner's done something to really make you angry, and you hold on to it like it's like your trump card. So whenever he says something or does something, you go boom. You remember 2 weeks ago when you did blah blah blah, bruh? You've been sitting on that for 2 weeks. You have not been emotionally present. You have been. Like, what has been going on in your mind for the last 2 weeks where you are festering, you're making things up in your head, now you're looking like you're questioning the relationship. There's all that stuff that's going on up in your head instead of taking a moment to process and having that uncomfortable conversation. Yep. Somebody says their ex used to call them all types of names during arguments. Arguments are good indications if the relationship is for you, if the person is a good fit for you. Because best believe how he argues with you while you're dating is how he will argue with you when you're in a relationship with him. Like, you need to pay attention to like how he gets along with his best friend, his parents, his friends. Listen to how he argues with them. If he's like that mf'er, blah blah blah, and they cussing at each other, or they cuss at their parents, what do you think he's gonna say to you when he's mad at you? If he's passive, like if his best friend did something to offend him and he holds on to it, he tells you and other people, but he won't tell his best friend, he's going to do the same thing to you. He's going to hold on to things. So when you're dating, it's really, really important that you pay attention to how people treat the people around them, like their family, their friends, coworkers might be a little different. But look at how they treat their best friend and their parents. Yeah. Yeah. I definitely hope we have a guest tonight. If someone wants to join, go ahead and click on the link in the chat and you can come on and give me your feedback. Like what do you think about the topic so far? You have questions about conflict, or you want to share an experience that you had to overcome or previous, I want to hear. Yeah, someone said you can't change no man. No. When you're dating someone, listen, you have to take your time and see how they act, see how they respond, see how they move. And if they cannot handle conflict, I don't think you're dateable. I don't think you're dateable. Drew says two mature adults should be able to have a rational conversation about what is bothering them. I feel like a lot of gay men are triggered by so many things and have not fully unpacked what those are. Drew, you are right, but the key word in your statement is should. They should be able, adults should be able to communicate properly, but that doesn't always happen. It doesn't. It really is about, have you done the tough work? And you only do it. This only happens if you practice it. Have you done the tough work to have uncomfortable conversations? Like, oh, what you did, I didn't like that. Oh, you said you were going to call me back and you didn't. Is that something that's going to continue to happen? Right? I always say talk about the elephants in the room. Because sometimes if you don't talk about things that are uncomfortable or that are awkward, you make up things in your head. Like you make up assumptions. And had you just had the conversation in real time, that has saved you stress, anxiety, the misunderstanding of holding that on, that idea in your head for weeks until you finally bring it up. Yeah. I see Ron Ellis says, and many gay men have dysfunctional relationships with parents. Ooh, yes, they do. So it's a battle to connect because the mommy and daddy issues. Yeah. So if you see a guy that argues with his mother and his father, if they're disrespectful, and he doesn't check that, if he doesn't try to figure out how to make them be a little bit more respectful, or he responds appropriately, how do you think he's going to argue with you? These are his parents. What do you think he's going to treat you like? Yeah. 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 Yes. Yes. I think conflict is, that's one of the number one reasons why people don't stay in long-term relationships. They don't talk about uncomfortable things. And if you want to be dateable, I think everybody who watching tonight, they want to have really good dating skills. You gotta handle conflict appropriately. Whew. Somebody said said the statement was a fact. Someone's ex said that his mother was the devil. So, you can't control other people. You can only control yourself. If the mother is super disrespectful and rude, how does he handle that? Does he say, you know what? I'm not going to tolerate you speaking to me like that when you can, use, appropriate language, and I'll call you back. Or you can't come into my home with that attitude and that energy. See, that's boundary setting. If he can't set those boundaries and speak like that, not dateable. Because that mother is going to come into your relationship and run all over it. Because he doesn't have the skills to set boundaries and make sure other people are respectful. All that's conflict. All that is conflict. Yeah. This is my opinion. Y'all disagree? Y'all might disagree. I want to see if anybody has questions in the chat box, or if they would like to join tonight. We got a lot of people in watching tonight. I appreciate the views. Are there any questions? Let's see. Y'all in the chat box talking about this boy's mother. All right, Markeith, we can play our video. You want to find love, and you want something that's real, you have to be your authentic self. We can argue, we can fight, yeah, we did it before, but we'll do it tonight. I am here to ensure gay men are their authentic selves, are respected for who they choose to love, and embrace the type of sex they enjoy. We are among one of the most resilient group of individuals in the world. If you want to find a great guy, if you want to stay in an amazing relationship, you have to keep fighting for your joy. I love that little commercial. So I saw two different questions in the chat box. One was, what do you do if your parents don't accept you because of your sexual orientation and they don't want anything to do with your partner? And the other question was about getting ghosted. So I'll come back to that one. So unfortunately, we as gay men, and some people who are of the trans experience or who are lesbian and bisexual, our parents may not accept us once we start to live in our truth. So once we start to talk about who we are more and more, they may say, you know what? They'll say that lifestyle. It's like, it's not a lifestyle. This is just who I am. They might say, hey, I don't want that around me. Don't do that. It is their loss. It is their loss. I'll say number one. It is definitely their loss, because I think gay men are some of the most brilliant and resilient group of individuals out there, as I said in my little talk I did before. So I think trying to cut us out of your lives, you're losing so much love. So I think if that does happen, unfortunately, you have to set boundaries. When I say boundaries, I mean you have to be like, okay, I'm not going to change who I am to make you feel better. Like, I'm not going to pretend like I'm dating women. I'm not going to not talk about my life, my partner around you. And if you have an issue with it, you can choose to have a gay son, or you can choose not to have a son. And for me, it's black and white. It is like you can either choose to respect and support, or you can just stay over there and I'll see you when I see you, if I see you, right? I'll come back to the ghosted question. Let's see who we have coming in. Let's see. Hello, hello, hello. I don't know if we can hear you. Do you have your mic on? I cannot hear you. Let's see. You might have to connect the microphone so you can join. We can see you. The lighting's great. Nope, we don't hear anything from your friend. Okay. We'll come back. We'll come back. The other thing that I was talking about, yeah, so you may just have to, again, cut people off if they are, and that goes more than parents. You know, if friends, family members are not accepting of who you are, then I say you cut them off. Cut them off. Like, but here's the thing, you give them time to come around, because as a gay man, I needed time to accept who I was. So give your family members grace and time that they may need to go pray, they may need to go talk to friends, and that may take a year, it may take 2 years for them to come back into your life in a respectful way. Or they may have more questions, or they just may not understand. Give them some time. I say give them time. The other question was about, what do you do if you're getting ghosted? This is the endless saga, right? You meet a great guy, you go on a date, or y'all hook up, and then he like literally dies. Like he's a ghost. He just disappeared. You're like, he don't call back no anymore. You know, you've been blocked. Everything. Typically, and this goes with the theme of what we were talking about today, is it's about having uncomfortable conversations, right? Instead of the guy saying, "Oh, you're not my type. I don't think we're compatible. I didn't like X, Y, and Z about you. The sex was trash." Like whatever it is, instead of verbalizing, saying that, they just are very passive and they disappear. So if you want to prevent people from ghosting you, and I pay people money for this, but I'm about to tell y'all. So you might have to set the environment when you're on your first date or two, or whatever y'all doing, that it's okay for them to have uncomfortable conversations. Like if you want a guy not to ghost you, and you want a guy to say things that you might not agree with, is just like, hey, you know what? If you don't like something, speak your mind, right? A lot of people don't tell you the truth is because they don't think you can handle it. We'll come back to that. Put a pin. Somebody remind me about where I was. Hello, hello. Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you. My God.
How you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great. I'm loving the hair.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's
So,
mine.
he said it's mine. Okay, even if you bought it, it's still yours. Okay, but you grew it out yourself. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So, Kadora, tell us like what questions you have about dating. What challenges do you experience? Let me know.
Well, I have a lot of questions. Remember we did a podcast together.
We did a couple weeks ago. Thanks for having me on there.
Yes. So I think for one of the biggest questions I have when it comes to dating is something that you really woke up with me is networking.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like you said, it's sometimes we get lazy and think that it's supposed to come to us,
Mm-hmm.
that, it's 2023 and we just use apps and we forgot, how to network and really go out to mingle with people. But I've developed a sense of fear
Mm-hmm.
going back out networking. It's just so easy to just get rejected over an app. It's easy to just not be liked over an app or to say, no, I'm good. But now going back out and trying to do things back before the app days is something that is really hard to get used to.
Mhm.
So that's one of the questions. Like, how do you help someone find that balance of using the apps as well
Mhm.
as getting back out there and networking, finding getting these organic connections.
Yeah, yeah. So, great question. Tell me this: when a guy ghosts you, like literally disappears, or says you're not my type, or I thought we just be cool to be friends,
Hmm.
what do you hear?
I hear I just wasn't checking for you. You're not the one I'm looking for.
Hmm. Hmm. And then you interpret that as what?
That sometimes I interpret it as if there's something's wrong with me.
Hmm. Right. And that then may lead you to not wanting to try it again.
Exactly.
Because you're like, I put myself out there, I'm talking to people,
Hmm.
and apparently there's something wrong with me.
Yes.
Like you hear there's something wrong with you.
Yes.
I would flip it is that this person is just not compatible for you. Like, tell me one of your deal breakers. Like something you're like, I've learned about myself. I cannot date someone who is X, Y, and Z.
Um, I can't date someone who does not know how to communicate well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So if say you go on a date with a guy and he is on his phone, you don't know what the hell he's saying because it's so nebulous, and you're
Mhm.
trying to like hone in on who he is, but he's not communicating well.
Yes.
What would you do with that date?
I would, because I know how to communicate. I would ask, do you want to end this day early? Do you want to just end now? Is there something wrong? Is there a reason you're not connecting with me?
Yeah,
That's what I would do.
in real time, like you're like, let me read the room, bro. What is going on here, right?
Exactly.
Like, are
Exactly.
you're not interested? And I heard is that you didn't want to try to change him
No.
because he is who he is, and he is not compatible for you. There's nothing wrong with him. Some people who they like people who talk real lofty and all over theories and everything. They love that. They absolutely love that. That's not for you.
Right.
It does that mean there is a deficiency in him. And that's the thing when people get rejected, they say there is something defective or something wrong with me. No. It just means you're not compatible. Like, do you want to have sex with a woman?
Absolutely not.
Does that mean there's anything wrong with her vagina or something wrong with her? It just
No.
means y'all are just not compatible.
Right. Exactly.
But we tell ourselves there's something wrong with me. I've dated guys for years and they're like, oh yeah, you cool, but if you was a little bit taller, I I am not. This isn't the height I am. I can't grow like I can grow outwards, but I taller not gonna happen. This who I am. So I had to start dating guys who appreciated me for who I am. Like I'm not gonna go date someone who was like they're 6'4". No, because he probably wants somebody who's 5'11" and up. So
Right.
you check for guys who are checking for guys like you,
Mm-hmm.
but you got to be around them. You got to get out the house. You have to put yourself out there and keep taking the risk. And if it doesn't work out, it is not something is wrong with you.
Right.
And as gay men, we have been taught since birth there is something wrong with us. So you got to stop telling yourself that.
Yes.
Like you have to
Right.
stop telling yourself that.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
You don't need to change your parents. You don't need to change anything about yourself. You have to find people who appreciate you for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they see you, that you they light up. They light up. You see a guy, if he looks at you and he lights up, that's him.
You're right.
And I'm not saying it's easy. It's going to be a process. You may have to date 30 guys to get to him.
Yes.
That's a lot of dates to go on, right? It's
Yeah.
a and it doesn't mean you have to have sex with them. It doesn't mean you have to have like these elaborate dates. It means you just have to treat dating like, let me see if this is a good fit.
Yeah.
Let me see if this is a good fit. No, this is not. Let me move over here.
Yes.
Do I feel good with him? Yes. Let me keep dating him while still dating somebody else. Because it's all trying to figure out who is the best match for you.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. And I took some of your advice that you gave me about networking. I joined the Chicago chapter of the like this Black gay chapter here in Chicago. They're doing like book readings. They have little events. So I joined that. So I had to take the initiative because we be talking about it like we can't find nobody. But we really do the work? And so
Right.
I had to really ask myself that question: am I actually putting in work to find someone? And I wasn't.
Kadur, I applaud you. I applaud you because it is work, it's effort, and my viewpoint is if you're single, like single, your social calendar should be full.
Yes.
Like you should be like, what next event am I going to? Not even just to meet a man, but it's like, let me get out of the house, expand the network, like expand the network, because that's the more likelihood that you are going to meet different people and guys who are interested in you. And if you are in the house, if you only go to the gay bar on a Thursday night, those are the same people you go run into.
Exactly.
Those are the same people. So
And I'm
it's
tired
like,
of saying yes.
but you got to go where gay men are. So I'm like, go to the gay clubs, that's fine, but also go to other gay type events where you know that other gay men are going to be. Go to
Mhm.
conventions, go to, weekend trips that people plan. People do cabin trips, people do save the money and go. Like buy that plane ticket and go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was this helpful for you?
It was. It was. It was. It was reassuring that I am doing the right things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to Big Boy Pride this summer, so I'm
Yeah.
going. Yes, I'm definitely going where I am celebrated, and I'm going where I can possibly network and meet someone. So I'm excited.
Yeah, listen, I would be like, hey, I want to volunteer as well. Like, put me on the sign up. Like, let me check the people in.
Right. Let me check them. Let me welcome them to the hotel. Okay.
Listen, you will volunteer. Oh,
Yeah.
that was good. Any other questions you might have?
Um, I do think that when the only other question I have is when you are I've been someone in pretty much all my relationships where I've been the person who has financially been the one who's made the most money.
Mm-hmm.
And I I've tried that has never been a problem for me before. I understand that everybody has a different upbringing. Everyone makes different are in different tax brackets and make different types of money, whatever. But the older I get,
Mm-hmm.
the more inflation keeps going up. I'm at a place where I really want to date men who are at least making where are in the ballpark of where I am salary wise or more,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if I was told that was me being an elitist.
Mm-hmm.
Or and I just really am at a place where I want someone who is where I am in life. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I was told that that's an elitist way of thinking, especially when the selection of black gay men are kind of, it's not a huge pool. And so somebody is going to be, working at McDonald's or Walmart, which I'm not saying
Mm-hmm.
anything's wrong with that, but I'm just at a point in my life where I kind of want someone equally, where I am financially.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, so I know you're not gonna like this advice. I just know it. Y'all can cuss me out already, and maybe I might be sharing TMI, but we'll see. Um, ah, been there, struggled with that. Um, my husband, he makes good money. I'll say he makes good money, but he does not make anywhere near what I make. Like when you say like financially the same, no, we're two different ballparks. Like I do extremely well. And when I was trying to find a mate, money was, I was like, oh, let me get someone else who's like balling out of control on six figures, right? That wasn't important really to me. I wanted someone who could see me for who I am. When I say like see me for who I am, who forget what Lamont does for a living. Does he enjoy my company? Does he enjoy being with me? Right. So that was a priority for me. Also, I did not want to have to take care of another man. Unless you're a kid or a dog, I'm not taking care of you, right?
That
So I
part.
think I think in a lot of gay men, this is one of the things that they prioritize for compatibility, and that is financial independence.
Hmm.
Financial independence is attractive, and that may look different for different people, right? So can he pay his own bills? Can he pay his own rent? Is he in debt? Can he travel? And I think, and it's just my opinion, as long as he can pay his own bills, he is not in debt. Like the I would prioritize some other things. Okay. If you want a business partner, then yes, you want somebody who is equal to you. But do you want a husband or do you want a business partner?
Wow. I want a husband.
So as long as he's not saying, "Hey, Kadora, can I borrow $20?" If he's saying, I need some money for this light bill, if he's not doing that, if he can take you out on a date, then I say prioritize something else.
Period. Okay.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
my, what are they saying in the comment section?
They going crazy in these comments right now.
Yes, I think that someone says, can you talk about finances in a relationship? Absolutely. I think part of dating, you should talk about finances. Not on a first or second date. What you do is you listen to how that man talks about money. Is he complaining about like he's broke? My husband hates when I say that word. But if he's talking about he's broke, does he say like, oh, I gotta pay this bill? Oh, I'm struggling to do this. Oh, can we go somewhere cheaper? Like you hear, like, can we go somewhere cheaper? You know how much money that man make.
Yeah.
You know what he can do about, because he's talking, he's telling you. If
Yeah.
he only takes you to free places, if he says Netflix and chill is his idea of a date, he's telling you something about his finances and investment in you. If he never buys you anything, these are things he's telling you. He ain't got it. Are you okay with that? Because you get in a relationship with that guy 2 years later and he's still struggling. He told you in the beginning. You knew
Yeah.
this. People crack me up when they get in a relationship with the guy. Like, y'all done made it official. And you like, oh, but he broke. You knew he was broke from day one. And you still let him hit. You still committed. And you still moved him in your house. So what did you think was going to change?
You are reading me right now. Oof.
No, I know. I just know I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm just like, that's why you date,
Yeah.
you date, so
Yeah.
you can see, and then, and you got to know what what compatibility is for you. If
Mhm.
finances are important, then you let it be finances, and then be like, bruh, I can't date you.
I think a lot of us, and I'll say me, we it seems like a lot of us date looking at the potential of a person instead of the person that they show you right in that they show you.
That don't date for potential. Don't. That man is who he is. That man is who he is. You done trying to make him a doctor, a business owner, and everything.
Yeah.
No, if he want to drive the bus, let him drive the bus and enjoy his life. Don't be like, oh, I'm gonna get him a side gig with me to do X, Y, and Z. Oh, he's gonna go back to school. No, no, let that man be. He is content in life.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. You got me over here screaming.
I wasn't trying to get red tonight, but my goodness.
No, because I guess know so many people, like guys, they show you who they are up front,
Yeah.
and and you want to change them, but also I hear over and over again, I want to build with my partner. I want to. This is what they say. I want to build with my partner. I want to open businesses together with my partner. I want to do. Go get you a business partner. Like literally, go get you and your best friend. Y'all be a business together. Like,
Yeah.
go find an investor. Find someone who loves you for you.
This is true.
Let that be the priority. Whew.
It's so hard out. It is just so hard. It's really hard. But I
Yeah.
love that. Find someone who loves you for you.
Yes. Not a business partner. Everybody want a power couple until that shit hit hard. Okay. No. No.
That is true.
I know power couples. Find you a lifelong partner. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for coming on. It's great to see you. I definitely think you are dateable. Tell everybody, especially because you take risk. You
I
put
do.
yourself out there. You're vulnerable. You are doing the steps that it takes to meet the love of your life. So you
I
deserve it. It's going to happen for you. I know it. Tell everybody your Instagram handle in case somebody wants to hit you up.
absolutely. So my Instagram handle is Cordero underscore Santiago. So Cordaro underscore Santiago.
All right. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Good night. It's good to see Cadero. Jerome said, Lamont, I want to hear you yell. I was just yelling a moment ago. Ronella says, Lamont, don't be playing. We do have time for one more person to come on if in the next like few minutes if you want to. Just click on the request. I'll bring you on. But that last part, it hit me because people, I think I hear all the time, oh, I want to be a power couple. I want to build with my partner. I want us to change the world together. And the more and more I hear them talk, I'm like, you want a business partner. There's nothing romantic that I hear in there. I hear I want a business partner. Well, go get you a business partner and find yourself a husband who does not have to manage the checks or like whatever. Let them manage the bills at the house. Okay, let them do that. Let them take care of home, and y'all raise your family together. But stop trying to be like, oh, I need this guy to make equal amounts of money. I get you want them to be able to live a certain lifestyle, and you want, like, if you like to travel and they're not able to do it as freely as you can. Okay, like, okay, well, if you having trouble finding a man, you may have to bend that income requirement. Okay, you may have to bend that income requirement. It doesn't have to make six figures. The question, because some people who make six figures, they're house poor. My mother said, "Your house poor." That means you only can pay your mortgage and that's it. Or they're living check to check, but they got six figures. Find you somebody who can financially take care of themselves. They are not in debt. They're not asking you for money. They can take care of themselves. I get independence. Financial independence is key. Yeah, I get it. Ooh. Yes, Daryl. Thanks for coming on, putting yourself out there and being vulnerable. I'm sure a lot of people learned a lot from what you had to share. Oh, so ghosting. The other thing we were talking about earlier. So I think if you don't want a guy to ghost you, you have to make sure that you can show him that you can handle the truth. A lot of people don't tell you the truth because they think you are going to overreact. You're going to be angry. You're going to do something hurtful or spiteful. So they ghost you. No, but like, oh, I can handle the truth. Right? You may have to even demonstrate that to him by sharing something vulnerable. Or, and this is for some of you all, you may have to fix your face. When I say fix your face, if he says something that is controversial or off-putting, just fix your face. Come on, we got one time for one more. Y'all coming at the end. Who we got coming in? Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, how are you?
I am doing great. How you doing tonight, Jerome?
I'm doing good. So, quick question. Just to touch base on what Cordero said, we do try our best to see the best in a guy, but when you go that extra distance to go see them, make the efforts, and they say they're not looking for a relationship, and then let's say 2 months later they're in a relationship, you know, how do you kind of, I guess you deal with that rejection, but how do you handle, I guess, the conflict or the resolution in dealing with the guy? Do you just move on, or do you just say, hey, so what is it?
So great question, Jerome. So there was something about you that he did not want to make you the one. It could be your views on life.
Right.
It could be what you wanted in a relation, the type of relationship that you wanted. You weren't compatible for him. And
Right.
why did he tell you all ended you all's dating or talking phase?
Well,
What did he say?
he never really said. I guess, I mean, long story short, it was more of a sex ship than a relationship. But again, I was good enough for sex, but not good enough for the relationship.
Yes, I see this all the time. Some guys will have sex with you, but they won't take you home to mom and dad.
Right.
Because they see you as a sexual person, or you're just, they see sex as something as casual and fun and entertaining. So they're like, hey, Jerome's good for, a good sex act, but I don't think he's going to be a good mate for me or someone who's compatible for you. Whatever the reason it is, it could be something that they want in a relationship that doesn't align with what you want. So they will date somebody else and they'll have sex with you. The thing about it is you being able to say, you know what? I'm looking to date. You're just trying to have sex. Let me cut this off. I don't need you to be the one to cut it off. But if you don't talk about like, where is this going? What are we doing? By like the third time, that's going to lead you in this situation. Because I think I heard you say y'all were kicking it for like 2 months.
Well, it was actually 2 months later they were in a relationship. I've known him for about 3 years.
How long have y'all kicked it, dated it, hooked
3
up?
years. Hey.
Yeah. At what point did y'all have conversations about what this was?
So it was more so within the first year as far as what I wanted, and I guess we were working on it, but it never got to those next steps because we lived in two different places.
So, now you say working on it, like what were you all doing to work on it?
So I would see him, he would see me, so we were both seeing each other, but we just never progressed to that official relationship status.
Did anybody move?
No,
After a year, somebody got to move.
I agree. I do agree. But I guess that would be the
long distance, 12 months, somebody got to move, or it's going to stay stagnant, or they are going to date somebody else.
yeah. And I
Unless
would,
you're up there is like at least 3 times a month.
well, I guess for me, I was looking more so of the protection because I wasn't losing my good job just to go chase my man.
I say it may be with the risk. The risk may be worth it. If he had demonstrated like, hey, I'm going to move here, we're going to be in this committed relationship. If it doesn't work out, then yes, sometimes quitting a job is worth it if it's for the right one. But it sounded like he wasn't able to communicate, so he was not the right one.
Right. I agree. Well,
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Now, thanks for coming on, Jerome. All right, good night. Ooh, the situationships will get you in trouble. I think you definitely have to have clear conversations about what this is. Where are we going? Why are we not doing this? 3 years is a long time to be, in limbo. Piss or get off the pot. Like, y'all gonna do this or nah? Because eventually time will make the decision. And it seems like that's what happened. All right, you all. Thank you for coming on another Thursday. If you all like me coming on Thursday nights for Are You Dateable, you definitely have to like this video, comment, and share it with somebody. I'm doing this for the month of March. We will see how it goes. If you all keep showing up, you keep sharing, you keep commenting, you keep liking, then I'll show up. I want to give a special shout out to Markeith. If you need some branding, you definitely can check him out. You can go right to markeithbraden.com. If you're a coach, entrepreneur, hit him up. All right, you all. I will see you next week, next Thursday, on another episode of Are You Dateable?